The platforms are closing down right now. It looks like we are crossing the finish line. It's all, allegedly, coming before Christmas. Al-Sudani, the citizen, wants to see something realistic and is tired of promises. After getting rid of heavy burden of its debt, Iraq has transformed from a country indebted to a country that can be a creditor to others. Iraq is not going to be in debt to others, but they'll be one that can credit to others. Iraq's going to have a lot of money. Non-oil, oil, tourism revenues are all in play. Television is talking about the dollar exchange. Frank, of course they are. That's all they're going to talk to you about. Firefly, they're saying the dollar platform is about to stop. They're saying there's a shock that's coming when the platform stops. Then they're saying the dollar will rise because of the demand. We think they are warning to be careful not to use the dollar. That's crazy. We know the dinar will have to go up. Frank, yeah, because it's not going to be just 1-to-1 emo. It'll be maybe a little more than 1-to-1, which means it has more value than the American dollar. A change in the dinar rate breaks that parallel market, so to me, with the mechanisms put in place yesterday, now they can pull the trigger. Do you realize how long we have been waiting for this news to get off the sold dollar in payments for imports and be done away with these corrupt currency auctions? Yes, Iraq is now officially out of the sanctioned mode of paying for imports. Can the news get any better, other than getting the RV, of course? Wow. 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 Yes, it's done. I see this process moving ahead now very nicely. Gazette number 4805 was written, and it is all about the amendment that they did in the budget, but it still has not been released to the public yet. Outside illicit trade have been warned about shocks. The dollar auctions are going to cease, and apparently within this year. They did say that was not going to be specifically on any day. They suggested that timing was open, yet to be within this year. Emo, that could be any time or any day they choose. Those that are not associated with a global correspondent bank or hooked up with system already have been warned all year long. It is on them now if they suffer losses. This shows there is no stopping Iraq's monetary reforms. The IQD is being introduced to its basket members. These foreign currencies that are coming in through the contracts, some of them, if not most of them, will be playing the part in the float of the Middle East basket. Why is it that this basket is the next chapter in our study? Because the CBI auctions are ending on December the 31st of this year, and there will be no restrictions on the Iraqi dinar on an international level as it was before. This is Article 8 compliance, which allows them to stop the auctions. Once the float increases the international value of the Iraqi dinar, it will start to pair to these currencies in this basket, and EMO, it will quickly rise in value due to the demand that we are seeing right now. The Central Bank of Iraq decides to add the Saudi Riyal and the Jordanian dinar. The CBI shut down 49 more companies. They were those that were the ones who were doing money laundering, and that should be the final 5% that they've been talking to us about every day. All day we hear from the IMF praising Iraq, and even Sudani talking about us being stable and strong. It's all over here in Iraq. It looks like this all saying we are about to go international. Frank, that is the key. That is the next step. Once we go international, you won't need me no more. You are about to go with a new exchange rate, God willing. I think they have the blessing of the United States Treasury. I think Iraq has the blessing of the World Bank. I think Iraq has the blessing of the Bank of International Settlements. And I have the feeling the World Trade Organization is just waiting and biting their knuckles, because they know the amount of money that's going to move through there is going to be unbelievable in trade. The thing I saw and made me very happy, when you see the Saudis coming with their money, now we can trade their monies, the UAE and all the Middle East countries almost. Turkey, Saudis, Kuwait, Qatar. Now we can exchange our dinars with their dinars, dirham, rial, with anything like that. That's very big, guys, cause the dollar, yuan Chinese, the euro is already there. Now we have all continental of Europe, Middle East, United States, and now it's missing a little bit of Africa and we're done. Other ones like Canada does whatever the United States do. Australia same thing. That made me very happy. That means soon we'll be in every bank in United States. It will be tradable. If it's tradable, it's going to gain a lot of values and quick. I sure hope my Iraqi contacts are accurate, sometime between now and the first of the year for a real effective exchange rate. I do have redemption personnel who have been trained on exchanging currencies, specifically the currencies we hold, and they are expected to work this weekend. This is odd going into Christmas. I hope this means something besides just finishing up end-of-year things. The Ministry of Interior announced, on Saturday, that it has registered more than 42 million Iraqis in the national card system during the year 2024, which is about to end. In a press conference held today, Miri said, "We announce for the first time that we have exceeded the barrier of registering 42 million Iraqi citizens in the national card system, noting the adoption of the second generation of the national card in its colored version, and its printing in Baghdad centrally." He added, "After the opening of the central office in Sulaimania Governorate, we announced the completion of the opening of the central registration of the national card throughout Iraq, which amounts to 19 centers, 2 of which are in Baghdad on both sides of Kark and Rusayfa, and 17 centers in the rest of the governorates of Iraq, including the Kurdistan region." Miri stressed that it has become possible for any Iraqi citizen to obtain a national card wherever he is, regardless of his place of registration or presence, even within one governorate and all governorates of Iraq. He pointed out that 6 sites were open to issue the national card outside the country as a first stage to serve the Iraqi community there, namely, Jordan capital, Amman, UAE-Abu Dhabi, Turkey, Ankara, Britain, London, Germany, Frankfurt, Iran, Tehran, noting that the remaining stations will be opened in the first quarter of next year in coordination with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Member of the Oil and Gas Committee, MP Bosim Al-Gharabawi, confirmed on Saturday that there is a desire among the political forces to legislate the oil and gas law in the near future, through the return of the joint committees to work in order to prepare a unified draft of the proposed law, with an invitation extended to host the federal oil minister and the regional minister of natural resources together within the committee. Al-Gharabawi said in a statement to Al-Maluma agency, "The legislation of the oil and gas law is of utmost importance on the political and economic levels and is considered one of the basic laws and regulates the relationship with the center and the region. Its legislation has become an urgent and pressing necessity despite its